Hello, welcome to Neurodifference. It is my pleasure to welcome on the Autistic Advocate, as she is known on Instagram, Zahraa. Welcome to Neurodifference, Autistic Advocate, law student, and host of Don't Be an Ass channel. Please check her out on Instagram as well as her podcast. Welcome to Neurodifference, Zahraa.
You.
Um, I've got to kind of start by asking what inspired you to start your podcast and your amazing work raising awareness of autism.
Okay, so raising about autism. Originally, I'm like, I'm gonna do my own thing. So that was that, and my podcast. It's not the thing is, it's not a podcast. That's the thing. It's just me sitting on my desk, just chatting away about Aspie supremacy and calling out Aspie supremacist sinners. Um, so I just like use that to educate people about Aspie supremacy, the dangers of it, the history, etc., 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 as well as intersectionality and like autism, quote unquote, hot takes, even though they're not even hot. So my advocacy started because of Chloe Hayden, and then um I remember how I used to like compare myself to her. I'm like, oh my god, but she's going on tours, she's doing this, she's doing that, and then I realized it's because she's rich, bro, and I'm broke AF. So that was that, and then a few controversies happened, especially the one about spreading misinformation on life expectancy of autistic people, which was not cool, and I just got so disappointed until Kali Gilwa, aka Black Spectrum Scholar, saved me. To this day, I thank her for her service to the autistic community, and how she's like still doing it right now, like amazing, debunking misinformation, like all of that, hot takes, boom, I love it, as well as listening to other BIPOC high support needs, media support needs, like all of this all of these accounts that are not run by financially privileged sorry white like autistic people in general. I don't want to say low support needs because we don't know what support needs they are, especially if they haven't said it. So that's why I avoid saying white low support needs autistics and instead just say white autistic people with big like platforms. So that's that. So I decided to, you know, and I like the thing about it is that it gave me so much freedom in a way. So when I no longer saw her as my idol, I finally started seeing myself as an idol, and therefore I just sort of said to myself, I can actually do my own thing. Like I'm free. I can do whatever the hell I want, and use my voice, use my platform, even though it's obviously
And I have to say that
pretty small. I mean,
um
not small. It's
oh, yeah, I
1.7K.
have to say that's very inspiring. All right. Sorry, please go on.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. But yeah. So my advocacy started literally because of COVID. Controversial, but then at the same time, um, it's she's still my inspiration to no, like not do what she done, like to become an antonym of who she is. So yeah,
Absolutely, and would you
eat it.
say that and would you say that like there is a lot of misinformation out there when it comes to autism in general? Because that's that's what I find that's what I find myself in as you may know, I've done, and as my viewers might know, that I've done quite a lot of talks on autism awareness myself over the past 10 years, and I find
Mac.
that there is a there is sort of like a lack in a lack of information out there presented by autistic people, and one of the reasons why I wanted to start Neurodifference was to try and fill fill that gap and present as authentic an experience as what it's like to live as autistic and subsequently neurodivergent as well. I have to ask, what is autism in your opinion, and what does it mean for you?
You know what? It's been a long time since someone asked me that question because
Oh,
I'm so focused on aspie supremacy, intersectionality, and all of that that I just sort of like no longer sort of I didn't look back and be like, what is autism to me? So autism to me is it's not just to me, but it's just objective, and I really don't care what others say. What I'm about to say is very objective. So autism is a disability that is associated with social social interactions, communication, and as well as maybe a bit of development, but the key areas are social and communication impairments. And that and that's the basic line. Another thing is every autistic person is different, and I mean that by saying that there are autistic people out there who do have stereotypical traits. And then there are autistic people out there who don't have stereotypical traits. And then there are autistic people who have a mix of both. And you know what? They're all valid. No autistic person is better or worse than the other. Beat it. And also this is a new one that I've learned this year, and it's that there are 3 levels associated with autism, not based off on severity, but more of how much support an autistic person needs, generally on a holistic approach in their daily lives, especially because the DSM criteria does in fact account the idea that autistic people needs do fluctuate daily. And a lot of those big autism advocates don't say that, oh, but it doesn't account for this, it doesn't account, like saying like, oh, it doesn't say that we change our needs and stuff like that. I'm like, girl, go touch grass. Sorry. um, go back to school. Sorry. So, and these levels are actually given by the doctor, psychiatrist, or whoever is diagnosing that autistic person, compared to support need labels, which is low support needs, high support needs, and medium support needs. They are given by the individual themselves. Yes, similar concepts, but it's more about who is giving the label to which. And in a way, very interestingly, I've just came up with this right now. Those advocates will be like, oh, but we need that label to help us define who we are as a form of acceptance. But then they reject the idea of levels just because they're seeing as a label. Do you know what I mean? So
mm,
like wait, you live in the UK, right? Let's just get the facts straight.
yeah,
And we
yeah.
both know that in the UK that we don't do levels here. It's literally you're autistic or you're not. So they basically got the assignment correct. Meanwhile, I know in Australia they do that. I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong to anyone who's watching this, especially Australians. I know that for a fact they do.
Likewise.
Huh?
Likewise. Oh, likewise. If anybody feels as though anything of what we are saying is incorrect, please feel free to please feel free to correct us both. Sorry, please go on.
That's fine. Just adding on to that, like, bro, call me out. Say like, hey Zahraa, what you said was wrong. um it's actually this, this, and this. I would not mind writing a paragraph of my story saying, hey guys, I messed up. I said this when this person told me that it's actually this, so I'm sorry for spreading misinformation. How hard is that,
Um,
co-leading?
I
How hard is that?
think. Uh, I
Sorry.
think I think that I've personally, from my perspective, I reckon that there are just there are so many there are so many ways of looking at autism. Personally, for me, I I see it as you're either autistic or you're not, and
Yeah.
I see it as you can describe people in a certain way. For example, you can describe people as high functioning, low functioning. Um, I find
Mm,
I find those labels
nope.
to be a bit misleading.
It,
If I'm honest, do you think?
mm, yeah. Well, do you know what? I agree with you. Like the only labels that I really don't like are functioning labels and the term Asperger's. I'm not a big fan of them. So the thing about like, oh, sorry, let me just go back to my previous point about levels. So
Yeah,
in
sorry.
UK, it's fine. Don't worry about it. I go on a tangent as well. So in the UK, we don't do levels. It's literally you're autistic or you're not. They don't give you a level. They don't give you anything. They just say like, hey, you're autistic. Done. Um, Meanwhile, in Australia, they do use levels. I'm not sure if they also do it in America. So, but I'm gonna leave America out of this, not because alongside political reasons, but also just generally. I don't want to spread any misinformation. But anyway, but I know in Australia they do need to use levels, and for some autistic Australians or Australian autistics, I don't know what goes on, but anyway, they do need levels to help them determine whether or not they're eligible for the NDIS, which basically, for those who are watching, it's literally disability funds or benefits, but in Australia. Whereas for us, yeah, we have disability benefits, but like, what are they actually called? Like, I know that for like university benefits, it's called a DSA, which actually stands for Disability Student Allowance.
That's right.
And I know there's another one like on a whole general level, but I just completely forgot. Um, so enough
Personal.
to
Sorry if you don't mind me interrupting.
yeah, no, it's fine, please.
You might know it as personal independence payment,
Oh,
or
PIP,
PIP.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yes, now I remember.
uh, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I believe
yeah,
that's
that's cool.
that was the one that you were referring to.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, yeah, no, I think um it's interesting to hear about the approach, not so much the approach but the views of autism, especially from different countries. So thank you ever so much for sharing that. And you were kind enough to watch the introduction video of my podcast. And as you know, I set up Neurodifference for many reasons, including fun. So I have to ask, what is your
Go ahead.
favorite Michael Jackson song and why?
Oh my days! Why is everyone asking me that question? Like, no, 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 no. In the wise words of Zendaya, it's like picking my favorite child. It's like picking like a favorite child. Like, no. Listen, in the
My
Zahraa
bad.
world, there is no such thing as a favorite Michael Jackson song. Like, I'm sorry that like, I just can't do it. Try again. Try again. Sorry. Oh,
I completely understand. I completely understand. One of my favorite songs, MJ songs, is Thriller.
my
'Cause this is
God.
Thriller, Thriller night, and no one's gonna save you from the beast about to strike. You
You
know
know
it's Thriller, Thriller night. You know you're fighting for your life inside a killer thriller tonight.
it's Yes.
Apologies, Zahraa, for
Can I
well,
don't
my
apologize. Don't apologize.
perfect.
Don't
What I'm
apologize.
sure would be a very poor audition on X Factor, or Britain's Got Talent.
Not skipping that.
Um,
I don't give a I sorry, but I don't like them. Like, especially when you look in behind the scenes and you start looking at the stories, there's so much exploitation. It's like, yeah, I'm not a fan of you. Bye. So, also, I just find them a bit boring in general. Like, yes, you can hula hoop 8 times in 1 minute. Cool. Okay. What do you want me to do? Basically, what do you want me to do? Can you at least solve world hunger? Hmm. Can you at least solve genocide? Can you at least save the world? Revive Michael Jackson, please. I'm joking.
mind
But
you,
yeah,
that would be sick if we could revive Michael Jackson. Like, could
you're
you
joking.
imagine?
That'll be a
Ah,
dream. Nobody's touching me.
be another. It'd be the entrance to another great era of music. I'm sure.
Yes.
Um,
Maybe
what?
music.
Oh, sorry,
Sorry,
go on.
definitely
Yeah,
not
no,
music.
go on.
Like on 12th of March 2009. Um, holy shit! What day is it? Oh, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for 8 days. Okay, so this is what happened. So this was when he actually came to the UK, specifically in the O2 Arena, announcing his this. Sorry, announcing his "This Is It" tour. He's like, this will be my final tour, and I will retire from that day. See you in July. No, 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 no. No. Like, I'm sorry, but like whenever I watch it, I'm like, no, please. Anyway, what the hell? What was I on about originally? Oh,
I
now.
yes, go
So
on.
the reason why he called, I mean, I'm not sure if that was the reason, but he called it the "This Is It" tour as a form of like retirement. Like he was no longer like performing by the end of like 2010 when he was going to finish. Anyway, and it was gonna be like the last ever big thing, like
Sad
a
day.
big bang. Oh my days. I don't know which one was the saddest day. That or 25th of June 2009. I don't know which one was the saddest day. But so yeah, if he was still alive right now, I think he'll be around 66, I think. So he would definitely be retired. I think he would.
I
Okay,
don't
maybe
know.
I was wrong. Maybe
I
he
don't know.
would
I
have made
think
music,
Elton.
but he would definitely
Um,
not perform
I
in
could
his
see him being like
60s.
Elton John.
Mm.
I don't know.
Fun
I
fact,
could
Elton John.
see him. I could see him be. Oh, yeah. Sorry, go on. Go on.
Oh, I was gonna say Elton John was actually not a fan of Michael.
Oh, was he not? Hmm.
Yeah, he's not.
Didn't know that.
I read something like a
Ah.
while back, stating that like, oh, he's so weird, he's so eccentric, blah blah blah. And now I'm like, Elton, you upset me dearly. Like, bye. I thought you, I was gonna love you as like one of the other legends that is the last one to survive, but but apparently not. But anyway, sorry. Anyways,
I
yeah, continue.
yeah. I was wondering if I could ask, what vulnerabilities do you think autistic people have?
Ooh, this is such a
Putting you on the spot
sad.
now.
It's honestly don't care. I'm already on the spot. This is my podcast. I'm joking. um, but I think that what so many people don't realize is that like autistic people, regardless of how well they can get the social cues, how well they can mask, literally all of it, we would still be vulnerable at the end of the day. And it's literally because in the DSM criteria, we often, well, maybe not we, because I don't know about other autistic people, but I personally think that like, you know, the idea of social and communication impairments is associated with how you interpret one's body language, one's facial expressions, literally like abide by the norms and values, that's when you start to appear to be vulnerable. Especially, like, it absolutely breaks me when I see like autistic people do the thing that made kids laugh, not because the autistic person is funny, but just so they can mock them. And it really hits me in the guts because I feel like I've had that moment as well. Autistic people are unfortunately more likely to get into abusive relationships. I'm not sure what the statistic is, but it's a general like statement. Um, like, so I think it's more about like the vulnerability of exposing themselves into an abusive relationship, um, either with someone else or even with themselves. Because sometimes the concept of special interest can get so bad that it becomes like, I mean, to be honest, I mean, autism is a disability anyway, but I was gonna say like, oh, it's gonna make like that special interest like disabling. I'm not sure how to word it, but my friend, her name is, or their name, sorry, I don't know what pronouns they use. Sorry, let me just get my phone out
It's all right.
and get the username. Because as much as I remember all majority of your usernames, I still need to remember on the top of my head because I don't want to. That's so. So my friend, their name is Marzi, and their at is disabled flower space. They literally created a post talking about privileges associated with having special interest, and my friend Taishel, she create at her at is child of autism. She also talked about why special interests are not fun for her, and I think it's very interesting because you know, people often think that when we have a special interest, it's like all fun and quirky and everything. Like, yes, it is good, and I love my special interest, but then sometimes it can get too much for that disabled person to the point it's just gonna hurt them. So I would say that the vulnerabilities are abusive relationships, like overall, with both the person themselves, based off on their special interest, food, food especially, and drinks, because we have like very like some autistic people have like very low interception as well as food aversion. Um, so there's that as well. So and then sometimes there's also this thing about called sorry, alexithymia, which basically is when you can't put your feelings into words, like you just can't explain your feelings. Um, and that's also a sense of vulnerability because, like, if you can't put it into words, how else are people going to like help you, if that makes sense? Um, oh, and another big thing, communication. 100% communication. Non-verbal slash non-speaking people are more likely to be vulnerable when it comes to communication compared to speaking autistic people, if that makes sense. I'm not saying that speaking autistic people who can speak are not vulnerable. I'm not saying that. They are vulnerable, but in like different aspects. But it's often non-verbal or non-speaking autistic people who have that like danger of being vulnerable with their communication, especially if their AAC or whatever tool they use to help them communicate is literally taken away from them. That's abuse. Like, it's incredibly like dangerous and like especially even life threatening for them, because like if you take away something that helps them to communicate, not only are you silencing their voice, but you're also more likely to subject them into having a complete meltdown, um like self-injurious behavior. Oh, that's another vulnerability as well. Meltdowns, especially if they're uncontrollable. I know I'm going like in a spiral, which is why I am shit at writing essays. Because I'm like, oh, like I'm writing my own idea, and it's like, oh crap, level one, and I haven't finished my original one, and so they're like, Zahraa, you're getting like what's that word? I'm going off on a tangent. I'm like, thanks, I'm aware of that. Can you help me how to not go on a tangent, please? Anyway, okay. Let's go back. Um, So like self-injurious behavior, etc., 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 etc. And finally, hopefully it's final, um, like as I said, self-injurious behavior, especially when it comes to meltdowns and they can't control it and they end up hurting themselves and or other people around them. So it's like an entire combination of that. So obviously I'm not sitting here spreading fear monger that like, oh, autism is a tragedy or none of that, because at the end of the day, autism is neutral. Like, it can be good and it can be bad at times, but very recently, considering the fact that these big advocates tend to glamorize autism so much, they're like, oh, autistic people can work, autistic people can look fabulous, and then someone saying that like the autistic privilege is to wear whatever you want, and it's like, no, no. They don't consider what vulnerabilities many autistic people have, and that in itself is also quite dangerous as well. So, especially since like they have a large platform, they are responsible for the things that they do and they say. So, I really hope I'm making myself sense, because I feel like I'm just going all over the place.
No,
But
you
anyways,
are no, you are absolutely especially um that part about not being able to articulate
mm,
your feelings. I think that is
that,
something I think that is something that I found difficulty with myself in the past. And I always figured that it would probably be down to different social just having different social rules um to everybody else. Essentially, there's something that's something that I believe that is that's always pertained to me, um, especially becoming an adult as well. I've found that like people have found me to be unexpected, strange, weird, weird even. Um, and I've always figured that would be the reason why. Well, that and social cues, not necessarily anticipating the social cues um, that people might go by. But I believe autism, it can be it could be a superpower. In one of my podcasts, for example, I mentioned one of my specialist subjects was the FIFA World Cup. Don't worry, I won't bore you. I won't bore you with the history of the FIFA World Cup. Um, what are some
to be
of
fair,
your specialist interests? Go on. Sorry.
I was gonna say, to be fair, I'm not interested in like FIFA World Cup and just football in general, so it's fine.
I won't. I definitely won't bore you with it. I've got to ask. What are some of your specialist interests? Um,
Yes, I am a specialist in this guy right here. This man is my
go on,
specialist.
Michael.
Yeah, so Michael Jackson is my special interest. Lego is another one of my special interests. Like, I just recently finished building the Harry Potter Grand Hall Lego set, which I got for
Cool.
Christmas. Um, and Aspie Supremacy. That's, yeah. Also, like, maybe like philosophy. Like, just thinking big about everything and anything. Um, yeah,
Fascinating,
definitely.
especially Harry Potter, as well. You might notice one of my interviews on my podcast. I interviewed the former operations director of the International Quidditch Association. Unfortunately, that's Muggle Quidditch, instead of the actual Quidditch in the Harry Potter books. But yeah, no. If Muggle Quidditch fascinates you, please go check it out. Um, I
I'd
don't
also
suppose you've heard of Muggle Quidditch by any chance? Sorry, go on.
I was
No,
gonna
go on.
say, like, as a disclaimer, I do love Harry Potter, but obviously screw J.K. Rowling. I don't support J.K. Rowling outside Harry Potter. Like, I respect as an author only. I like how she built Harry Potter, but outside of it, no. I don't agree with her views on trans women. Trans women are women, trans men are men. However you identify yourself, you're valid, okay? There. Period.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Completely understand. What advice would you give to an autistic person looking to find out more about or what autism is?
So as in like wanting to get a diagnosis or just like educating themselves on autism?
Any in any situation or background in life that you'd like to talk about?
Oh, okay then. So I guess educating yourself about autism low-key does come into whether you want to diagnose yourself or not. But okay, on a general statement, I would definitely say listen to autistic people based off on their experiences. Ask them about what their experience of being autistic is like, especially if they're professionally diagnosed. How did they get that diagnosis? The struggles they may go through because of being autistic and because of society, as there is a balance between the medical model of disability and the social model of disability. So talk to autistic people about that. And another thing that I would say is please don't be shy to ask doctors, psychiatrists, parents, teachers, autism specialists who work or live with or know, like, yeah, who work with autistic people or autistic children about their views on autism, because it's important to gain that balance, especially, and I cannot emphasize this to all of you, that parents of autistic children are included in the autistic community. This is literally because their autistic child rely on the parent to be their voices. They are their source of communication, just like how one non-verbal autistic person will use the AAC as their form of communication. So when you um exclude parents of autistic children away from the autistic community, then you're doing more harm than good. You are still excluding autistic people who rely on that. Who is going to speak for them? I definitely can't because I don't even know them. All right? So it's important to talk to both autistic people and parents, as well as doctors, teachers, politicians as well, who do try to advocate for autistic people's rights. Oh, people who work in autism charities, like in here in the UK, we have the National Autistic Society, right? So
Yep.
basically, just go and ask them about their lived experience, some facts. Literally, don't be shy to ask. All right, like we are there for you. We are here to help you learn. Like my space is all about learning and educating people. Like I don't give a flying Michael Jackson's jetpack from the 1992 Dangerous Tour. How uneducated you are about autism. Don't be shy, okay? Don't don't be afraid of making yourself feel bad. I'm like, oh my god, what if they're gonna like have a go at me? What if they're gonna do this? What if they're gonna do that? Like, no, because I know that for a fact. If I was, you know, do you know what? Let's be real here. Everyone on in this world definitely has something that they know little to nothing about. All right. For example, I'm gonna be real right now. I know nothing. You know what? That's a lie because like technically you do know something, but it's most likely to you know from the media. So the media has power. But anyway, so for example, for me, right, I don't know any like barely anything about schizophrenia, and I know that for a fact that when I ask a schizophrenic person about their experiences and everything like that, I would definitely feel like, oh my god, what if I'm offending them? What if it's this? What if it's that? And they like teach me in a way that is like, nah, it's cool, bro. Like, I'm here to teach you. Like, I'm not here to have a go at you. Then I would feel so much safer to ask them questions because, again, another flaw with these advocates is that when people, especially like parents of autistic children, ask these questions, they are met with such hostile behavior. It's ridiculous. Like, you call yourself like, we're a learning space, we're like an open space, blah blah blah. Like, and then you start having a go at a parent of autistic child just because they're asking a question for their autistic child. So anyway, so that's that. So please don't be afraid to ask. And if they make you feel afraid to ask or make you feel intimidated or they make you feel bad just for simply like asking, then that's on them. Go find someone else. I'd also say please do not rely heavily on the internet because there is so much misinformation out there. It's important to check your facts. Or what else? What else? Yeah, listen to autistic voices, listen to parents of autistic children, listen to teachers of autistic students. Sorry, listen to autistic people who have AAC. Listen to Black autistics, listen to queer autistics, listen to trans autistics, listen to Arab autistics, listen to autistic people who are nonverbal, listen to autistic people who are non-speaking. Literally listen, understand, and accept us as who we are. Oh, and another thing, when you're learning about autism, please, please, please bear in mind that autistic people are people. We are neither good nor bad. All right? It can go one or the other because at the end of the day, autism makes a person autistic. Done. End of story. That's that. So that's on a general level, I would say. But if someone were to ask me, which I have gotten this question a few times, like, oh, Zahraa, I'm thinking of like diagnosing myself with autism or getting a diagnosis, but I don't know where to start or what to do. So first and foremost, do what I said. Listen to autistic people. Listen to parents, blah blah blah. I'm not going to repeat myself. But another thing that I would do is contact your GP, contact your doctor, ask them about it as well. The DSM criteria is available for anyone to look at, and you can use that as a way to like help you with your self-diagnosis journey. I also recommend following two accounts. Kaligewa at Black Spectrum Scholar. They have like a document filled with like all the things that you need to know about like the tool that she's got a kit ready for you for diagnosis. And then my other friend, their name is Trix at Goddess Misfit. They are one of the first people I can think of on top of my head who went through that self-diagnosis journey, and they got a diagnosis just last year. And they've also been talking about it on their platform as well, so I hugely recommend giving them to a follow. And they'll help you more with that, because for me, I was professionally diagnosed when I was 4 years old, so I'm not gonna remember. It was also, but bear in mind, I was also diagnosed back in 2010, so obviously things would have changed so much in the past 15 years. So just bear that in mind. So listen to autistic people. Go follow those two accounts that I suggested. Look at the DSM criteria. Go contact your doctor and GP. In the meantime, while you may not be eligible for disability funds, because in the UK you do have to show evidence that you do have a disability. So I don't want to hear any bullshit from anyone saying like, oh, but if you're so diagnosed, it's like, no, come to the UK, apply for disability benefits. Try me. It's like, try it.
Well,
It's literally
thank you. Well, thank you thank you ever so much for
I just had one
for your
more thing,
advice.
sorry.
No, please go on. Go on.
One more thing, please accommodate yourself in the best way you can. So that means buying yourself like fidget toys, noise cancelling headphones, maybe creating yourself like a routine or plan. Get to know yourself basically. Like start learning your boundaries. You know, things you like, things you dislike. Oh, and another thing, uh, document everything and anything you can to show your doctors as to why you think you may be autistic or why you think like you know your child might be autistic. So it's used as a backup. Be like, hey, I got my evidence, I got my shit, and it's linked with the DSM criteria, and you've got everything that you need to know. So you need to build like a massive strong foundation, and at the same time, please accommodate yourself because you deserve it, man. And also, even if you can't get the professional diagnosis, you're valid, okay? Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Beat it.
Awesome.
Anyway,
Uh, mic drop. I'm just imagining mic drop. After you just said that, Zahraa, I cannot thank you enough for once again for coming on Neurodifference and giving us such amazing advice on what autism is and how you can help each other, but also help yourselves as well on such an important journey to finding out what autism is and what it means for yourself. Well, absolutely. Please send me those accounts over Instagram. It has been it's been very this interview has been very enlightening for myself,
thank
and I'm sure it's been the same for my listeners too. So thank you once more, and hopefully see you
hold
again on the podcast. So yeah, please go on.
I want to say my thanks. So first of all, I want to say thank you. Rice, is that's your name, right? I pronounced it.
Reese.
Oh, sorry, Reese. So thank you, Reese, for actually inviting me to do this with you. But I also want to give a very special thank you to Queenie's Mullet, who actually DM'd me and be like, "Hey, Zahraa, can you go follow this account because I told Reese about you, and he wants to like have an interview with you and everything. But please, thank you so much for having me, like recommending me to this page as well. Also, thank you to my jellyfishes for listening, and for being there and supporting me throughout this time, especially since it's quite a difficult one for me. Just for context, my granduncle passed away, and since then I've sort of like deteriorated. But alhamdulillah, we are getting there. Um, who else was I going to thank? What the hell? Anyway, um, yeah, sorry about that.
I,
So yeah, just thank you so much, for tuning in. And oh, I know what I was going to say. Please go follow Rice, on his Instagram, and please go check out his other, episodes too. He's incredible. He is amazing. Awesome lad. So thank you for that.
no, thank you. No, thank you. Really means a lot, and hopefully see you again soon. Thank you.
See you again. Bye.